So both feet flat on the floor, about a hip's width apart. And align. Well, first of all, just feel the sensation of the feet on the floor. So really just, bring your mind to the soles of the feet. Just feel the weight, the temperature, the sensation of whatever cloth it is, or shoe or sock or whatever is underneath your feet or around your foot. And feel the weight of the backs of your legs on the chair. Or if you're sitting cross-legged, you'll feel the weight of your legs on your feet. And then your hands in your lap, right hand nestled in the left with the thumbs touching, and then release the pelvis into your seat, your chair, the weight of your pelvis. And then just notice your sits bones. And align your shoulders with your hips and your ears with the shoulders. And just imagine your spine is this beautiful string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. Just imagine you're lengthening your spine, putting some space in between the vertebrae. And go to the crown of the head and just release any tension there. Relaxing your scalp and the forehead and the eyes and the nose and the cheeks and the area around your mouth, the back of the tongue. Relax the jaw and relax your ears and your temples and the back of the head. Just put a little length in the back of your neck. Just have your chin slightly down, and then just try and avoid any constriction at the base of the skull. And then just allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down and relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. And bringing your attention to your breath. Notice the sensation of the air as it flows in and out. Around the nostrils. A little bit cooler on the inhale. Then just bringing your awareness to your chest cavity. Just allowing lungs and ribs to expand 360 degrees, so not just at the front. And then relax. Or just think about your belly, breathing in and out of the belly. And, just be aware of any sound in your environment. Any distractions. So anything that might be floating across or coming in as a notification on your screen or on your watch or your phone. Notice any sound. And just allowing all of that to be there, just trying not to investigate. So when your watch or your phone or your computer calls your attention, just leave it be. Avoid the temptation to attend to it. And then just check in with your mind this evening. So how are you feeling? How are you doing? What thoughts have been bubbling up for you today? And try not to judge what's in your mind. Just allow it to be. And just accept that however you're turning up tonight is just very fine. And then bring to mind all the people of your life, your loved ones, your strangers, ones you don't like very much. Just allow them to kind of float in and out of your consciousness. Bringing the loved one into focus, letting them fade back, bring the one you don't like into focus, let them fall back, and then the one that you are finding is a stranger that you don't know at all. And just remembering that due to impermanence, all these relationships can change, and they're all equal. They all want to be happy, they don't want to suffer, and they all have this extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. So I think we'll do this practice this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. And I don't think Lou is here tonight, and given what he said last night, maybe we just think about him. And of course, anyone else that you might like to think of. So we think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it by creating positivity instead. So we're purifying by doing this Vajrasattva practice in the context of the 4 opponent powers. And we start with regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we will experience. We know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So we think, I regret from the depths of my heart, having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think, I'm sick of this suffering. And then what can I do about it? Where do I go to sort of fix this or help me with this? So then we come to the power of reliance. So we're relying upon the Buddha, Vajrasattva, who we see more as a doctor rather than, a higher power that's going to come along and fix everything. So he has these methods that we can use to purify, kind of like medicine. So it's not that we're not needing, Buddha Vajrasattva to forgive us. We're relying upon the medicine. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head, and you can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has a beautiful, radiant face, and his eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell, representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So then here's our section on developing compassion. And in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we've harmed, and those who have harmed us by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings. we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result in suffering for them sometime in the future. So we think, I must purify for all of these beings. And then we come to this power remedy, and this is the actual medicine doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Mebawal Sitokaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Mebawal Sitokaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Mebawal Sitokaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Mebawal Sitokaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Mebawal Sitokaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Mebawal Sitokaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Mebawal Sitokaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything other than benefit others with your body. And next is the purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So imagine all the gossip and all the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about people behind their backs and getting other people to kind of come along and agree with you. And all of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra again. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Mebawal Sitokaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Mebawal Sitokaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anorakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Me Boa Situkaya Me Boa Sipokaya Me Boa Anurakta Me Boa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Me Boa Situkaya Me Boa Sipokaya Me Boa Anurakta Me Boa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Me Boa Situkaya Me Boa Sipokaya Me Boa Anurakta Me Boa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Me Boa Situkaya Me Boa Sipokaya Me Boa Anurakta Me Boa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Me Boa Situkaya Me Boa Sipokaya Me Boa Anurakta Me Boa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. And next is the purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's kind of like when you flick on a switch in the dark room and the light comes instantly. So the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, and all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachments and neediness and bitterness and grudges and disappointments and jealousy, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasapa Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Me Boa Situkaya Me Boa Sipokaya Me Boa Anurakta Me Boa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Me Boa Situkaya Me Boa Sipokaya Me Boa Anurakta Me Boa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Me Boa Situkaya Me Boa Sipokaya Me Boa Anurakta Me Boa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Me Boa Situkaya Me Boa Sipokaya Me Boa Anurakta Me Boa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Me Boa Situkaya Me Boa Sipokaya Me Boa Anurakta Me Boa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Me Boa Situkaya Me Boa Sipokaya Me Boa Anurakta Me Boa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others, with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And think that there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of our body, speech, and mind. This time imagine Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your consciousness. So the nectar flows down, pushing out all the negativity of the speech, and then the nectar flows up, nectar flows down, pushing out all the negativity of the body, and then flows up, pushing out all the negativity of the speech, and then the light comes and blasts all of the delusions. At the same time, you're also reciting the mantra, so this way we eradicate even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your consciousness. Om Vajrasappa Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Jida Mebawal Sitokaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anurakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mebe Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasappa Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Jida Mebawal Sitokaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasappa Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasappa Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasappa Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasappa Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasappa Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So now feel you're completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And then we come to this power of resolve, and this is the fourth and the final step in the purification process, and it's a really crucial one. This is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. And without this, we're just going to keep doing the same old things over and over again. So this determination, this aspiration to refrain from harming becomes like a beacon that guides your body and your speech and your mind in new directions, more positive directions. So Rinpoche used to talk about everything existing on the tip of the wishes. So just decide this is your wish to refrain from harming. So then think of the ways that maybe you had some of the habits that you might have might be harmful. I think that the things that might be harmful most are how we use our speech and how we talk to ourselves internally, our internal dialogue. So you could start there. You probably know your habits. So think carefully and decide to refrain from, something, even if it's only for a minute. And this kind of, when we make a decision like that, it gives us some sort of guardrails and a bit of structure. So Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind and melts into light and absorbs into you through your crown, and you think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on emptiness. So in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And you can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And then let's do our chanting the names of Manjushri. The quintessential mind of Sava Buddha, residing in the mind of every Buddha, the greatest body born by every Buddha, the lovely speech enriching every Buddha, the scorching brightness from the Vajra sun, with stainless luster from the Vajra moon, great passion of the passionless, and others with multicolored rays that brightly blaze. The perfect Buddha's perfect Vajra posture, retaining for all beings the Buddha's Dhamma, the lotus Buddha's celebrated sun, the knowledge treasure for the omniscient. All right, everybody. Let's have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, a swift return of our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and for all of your own individual teachers.